You've been following Hurricane Lee for a while now. When it first started,
it's been out there for a week.
Right, it's first started churning in. At first, we thought, okay, it's not going to hit land as anything major, but have things changed?
It still won't be a major hurricane when it finally does hit land. If it may be down to tropical storm strength at that point, but because it was such a powerful hurricane, it was compact at that point. It was Category 5 last week. Well, the center of it weakened, but that kind of spread out the size of the hurricane force wind. So it's just a larger storm, even though it's not quite as powerful as it was. It's still out in the middle of nowhere right now. So we were talking about this thing being several days away from impacting land. It's staying to the north of the islands in the Caribbean. Looks like it's going to stay to the west of Bermuda. In fact, let's take a look at the forecast path of this storm after we zoom in a little bit closer on the center, which is still organized. It's still a Category 3 hurricane with 115-mile-an-hour winds. There is that path just to the west of Bermuda, and then it looks like it's going to be heading northward, staying off the east coast of the U.S., but Maine is within that cone of uncertainty. Most likely point of landfall is going to be on the tip of Nova Scotia. The maritime provinces of Canada have a long history of dealing with these types of storms that are really transitioning from tropical systems to post-tropical as they make their way this far north, but they still bring a significant flooding threat, damaging winds, power outages, and of course coastal erosion is going to be a big problem up and down the coast of New England with the large waves that this storm is going to kick up. In our neck of the woods, it's a whole different story. Just calm conditions, cooler weather today, but we are going to see a little bounce back to our temperatures tomorrow and Thursday before a longer cool down is going to kick in over the weekend. You can see that in the 10-day outlook for Livermore, just 1 or 2 degrees above average tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. And then we coast down to several consecutive days of below average temperatures as we finish off technically the last days of summer ahead of the autumnal equinox next Friday. I think it's just before midnight Friday night. The air quality was okay at ground level today, but there was a little haze on the horizon. The fires burning in far northern California aren't producing nearly the volume of smoke that they were a few weeks ago, but they're still producing some, and some of that is going to drift down towards us. The good news is we're staying out of the yellow, orange, and red on our scale here, which indicates that the thickest smoke is not going to be making its way down towards us. I think the worst that we're going to have to contend with is going to be moderate air quality. We were in the good category across most of the Bay Area today. There were a few yellow dots mixed in, but most of us were in the green. The worst we would see is that moderate air quality for the North Bay and maybe in the inland valleys of the East Bay tomorrow and Thursday. That kind of goes along with some warmer temperatures as well. Looking outside right now from the Mark Hopkins Hotel, there is the fog hanging out along the coast and just shrouding Sutro Tower as usual. 60s around the bay, a mix of low 70s and upper 70s and low to mid 80s for current temperatures inland. The fog is going to spread out as we head through the rest of tonight. Temperature for the Giants game against the Cleveland Guardians looks like it's going to still be in the mid 60s at 6:45. Later tonight, we mostly drop down to the mid to upper 50s to around 60 degrees. And more of a warm up tomorrow, but that just puts us back to where we're supposed to be this time of year. Mid 60s along the coast, a mix of 70s and low 80s down the peninsula and around the south end of the bay with low to mid 80s in the Santa Clara Valley. Low to mid 80s in the Tri-Valley. Some of the hotter spots in the Delta getting up into the upper 80s to around 90 degrees, but those are the hottest spots. And in mid-September, it's not all that hot. Right around 70 degrees for San Francisco with a few upper 60s and some low 70s for Oakland and the East Bay and low to mid 80s for the North Bay until you go farther north. A few more locations getting up to above 90 degrees, a robust 95 degrees tomorrow afternoon in Ukiah. You'll be the ones cooking to a greater extent. Not much change to temperatures around the bay, even once that cooler pattern settles in by Saturday and Sunday. We're talking a maybe 2 or 3 degree drop from tomorrow through the weekend. A more noticeable drop inland. The North Bay valleys go from the mid to upper 80s tomorrow to the mid 70s by Sunday and Monday. Temperatures in San Jose will drop off, and inland in the East Bay, about a 10 degree drop as well. Not much change right along the coast. You'll stay in the 60s with a little bit of sunshine peeking through every once in a while. Be thankful when it happens.
We will. Thank you, Paul.